Hey guys, it's Kira here and I'm back with another video. Today we'll be checking out this giant drawing tablet from Veikk. This was sent to me for free and this is not a sponsored video, and this video will be in 3 parts. I'll be doing the unboxing, some testing, and towards the end I'll be drawing Venti and then give you guys my full opinion on this baby. I had this for a while now and I've fallen in love with it, and the only other 22-inch drawing display that I've used is the one at school, which is the Wacom Cintiq. Those are like the professional drawing tablets, and I use an older model at school and I must say I'm not a big fan of the Wacom. Sometimes I had a bunch of issues. You guys can check out my animation student vlogs for some more information on that. But the packaging on this was beautiful. It was so huge, and I'm glad that it comes with the stand built in, and the stand is very easy to use, and it came with all these extra goodies. And also I really love the design of this tablet. I'm very biased because it comes with 2 scroll wheels. You guys will see some close-up, and it comes with 2 pens. And this pen holder, it looks so cute. It's very similar to the ones in their other models. I've worked with Veikk before with their much smaller 12-inch drawing tablet, which you guys can check out in the pop-up card right here. I'll probably do a comparison video, but I don't know if that makes sense, but because this is like a much bigger drawing tablet compared to a smaller one. I was afraid that it was not gonna fit into my setup, and it did. I'm so sorry guys, I did not include the natural ASMR sound in this unboxing because I'm trying to jam-pack it with information. And here's the baby. You guys see that screen, and it's textured as well. And it comes with a lot of cables. It's a lot of cables, guys. It comes with a power cable, an HDMI cable, and a USB Type-C cable. So you need to have the ports on your computer to run these things, especially with pen displays on Windows. They're like a lot of pain to set up. That's why I like to include this portion of the video, because especially for a much bigger tablet display like this, it uses a really big power cord. Normally, the much smaller ones that I'm used to using, they just come with a little bit USB. Sometimes you can plug into your computer, but this one doesn't. And the screen size made such a difference. I love using the Wacom one at school, but that was mostly because of the screen size. The pressure sometimes would vary. Maybe it's also a thing with Windows, because when setting this up, the pressure did vary a lot throughout the application. It took a little bit to get it right, so I would just recommend to just keep playing around with the settings, switching between the WinTab drivers and the tablet PC drivers. If you guys don't know what that means, you guys can feel free to Google it, but it did take a lot of troubleshooting. That's why these types of tablets are not recommended for beginners. It's better to go with an iPad, even if they're more expensive, or Samsung Tab S7. But the drawing experience on this is so much better after you set it up. Like, I really do enjoy this thing just because of the layout of it. I didn't actually end up using my Tourbox drawing remote. Normally I use that on every tablet because normally the side buttons on most of these tablets sucks, but the way this one was designed was really intuitive. I ended up using most and all of them just because of the 2 scroll wheel, because I have one for the size and one for the zoom in, and they're fairly easy to reach, and I love that about it. I tried the pressure in a bunch of different apps. I tried it in Autodesk, I tried it in Krita, I think I tried it in Medibang. The pressure also varies within the app depending what settings you have. Personally for me, since I review a bunch of tablets, I had to uninstall a lot of my older tablet drivers just to get an accurate description of how this would be. But sadly, no matter what I did, the pressure did not work in Adobe Photoshop for me. It just gave me these weird lines, and that's kind of super frustrating since I do all of my thumbnails in Adobe Photoshop. I love being able to do some doodles in it, but I haven't been able to find a workaround with that. So I just turned my PSD files into ClipPaint, and opened them up in ClipPaint Studio, and then just doodle and then transfer back and forth. That's how I worked around it, just because this giant screen is textured, and the way to adjust the stand is just really nice. And maybe I am very biased because I do not use many giant screen tablets besides the one at school, and the one at school is the Wacom one, and I find it super expensive for what it is. But this one, I think it's around $400 US. I'll link it down below, and I know Veikk is always having sales on these things, and I do not know how it compares to Yuan or XP Pen's display, but I do prefer this one a lot more just because of the design of the scroll wheel, because a lot of newer pen display manufacturers, they stop adding remotes on these pen displays, and especially on the much bigger ones, that I just really hate that some of them do that. And one of the downside of this pen display is that the pens do not have an eraser. I really wish that this tablet size would have an eraser, but thankfully I programmed one of the shortcut keys as an eraser. I ended up liking this so much in Autodesk Sketchbook a lot. Autodesk Sketchbook is one of my favorite platforms, drawing platforms, and I did this little sketch on it, and oh man, it worked so well. With Clipping Studio, I had to do a bunch of like work with the settings, but Autodesk, it just worked right off the bat. So if you're having a lot of trouble with this, comment down below. I tried my best to help you out, or you can join my Discord server, the Internet Artist Support Group. We're a group of artists. A lot of us are digital artists, can help you out, because these things can be frustrating depending on what operating system you're using. I watched this other reviewer, and she was using a Mac, and she ran into a whole different set of issues, so I can only help with PC. But I do really enjoy this tablet at this price point, and I'm really happy it fits my setup because I have a really small desk. And now we get onto the Venti drawing. I spent so long on this drawing, and I took my time on it to get my lines right. Oh, I love the texture, the pressure sensitivity. I'm not using any mumbo jumbo technical terms when it comes to reviewing tablets, just because I know it can get really confusing for a lot of people. A lot of people don't know a lot of what these terminology means, and honestly, in day-to-day use, all that matters is the comfort, and if you run into a lot of headaches. After I set this up and the pen pressure settings in different apps, I didn't ran into that problem ever again. I've drew so many drawings on this. I'm always sharing it on my other social medias. I just been behind on the YouTube video, and this is a Genshin fan art, and I use a symmetry ruler, and I had a lot of fun with this, and I didn't run into any problems with this drawing tablet. I'm so happy that it didn't take me that long to get used to the shortcuts, because one thing about having shortcuts on these pen display is that they're a learning curve. But since this is a much bigger tablet, they're fairly evenly spaced out. Even though they don't have any special braille on the buttons themselves, I was able to differentiate them pretty well since they're pretty big. And I just am a big fan of them. Another downside of this tablet, maybe it's because of Windows. Sometimes when I'm drawing Clipping Studio, if I click out into another app, the cursor kind of shows up a little bit, and I have some trouble with like the buttons on the side adjusting properly. Sometimes it takes a little bit, but again, I don't know if that's a glitch or a bug with Windows itself. It does not affect the drawing experience. I just a little bug that's annoying for me, because when I click out of another program, because I'm usually in Discord while drawing on my art Discord server, and when I go back into my drawing and then I use the shortcut to like flip the drawing, it doesn't work. It takes like a little bit, like it has to register it. Again, I do not know if that has something to do with my PC and my habits of running 50 million apps at once. Maybe I need more RAM, but it does not affect the drawing experience. And at this price point, especially if you like the design as much as I do with the 2 scroll wheel, this giant tablet is definitely worth it. Especially the 2 scroll wheels. At the top you can change them from like zooming in. There's a bunch of different settings in the Veikk app, and I'm so happy that it has that, because another drawing tablet that I was reviewing at the same time as this one did not have that built in. But the main plus side is that it's so much cheaper than my Wacom One. My Wacom One is like a budget drawing tablet that Wacom has. Wacom is like the top of the line for drawing tablets, and it cost me almost $500 with the remote, and this is much cheaper than that. That's kind of insane. You get a lot more bang for the value. I like the pressure sensitivity a lot more, even though I'm a big fan of the Wacom EMR technology on the Wacom One. That's because I personally like to use it between my Tab S7, and I don't like having multiple pens. But outside of that, I much more prefer drawing on this, since it's a little bit more texture. It's a lot more accurate. I can get really fine lines, And the screen real estate is so nice for long drawing periods. And the bonus is that it comes with all these extra goodies. It comes with 2 pens. The stand for the pen is really nice. I like the design of it. It's very sleek. I'm happy that they did not change that from their other models. And the stand is very easy to use, and it looks like on the back it still has the mount, so that way you can mount it to other tablet mounts. I'm not sure if you can remove the specific mount itself, but it's great that you can still attach it to any other thing, because it looks like it has the 4 VSA mounts but behind the stand, if that makes sense. I'll probably need to have a close-up in another video, but yeah, I spent so long on this drawing just getting my lines really fine, since I enjoyed the drawing experience so much on this. Since there wasn't a lot of friction into creating, I got really absorbed into my work, and I drew a lot more drawing on this tablet that I've recorded that I can't wait to show you guys more in my animation vlog, since this is the drawing tablet that I use at home, and since I don't leave my house a lot, this is the one that I use all of the time now. It's my main drawing tablet. I'll definitely be reviewing more tablets on the channel, especially for those of you guys that do not have the space for this. Even though I do have a small desk, I know some people might have much smaller accommodation than I am, or maybe you don't have a powerful PC, because to be able to run a drawing tablet and the other monitor on your computer, you do need to have a certain amount of RAM and a certain amount of power. You cannot run something like this on a Chromebook. It definitely can work, but in terms of the drawing programs, it won't be a fun experience. Everything will lag. As you guys can see, I have like over 50 something layers, since that fits my art style. So that's also something you have to keep in mind with something like this. It's normally a much bigger investment. Even though this is one of the more budget-friendly models, it's still an investment of space and power, since you need to have this plugged in all the time. And this is not a tablet where you can just take it to your couch and just draw. So that's also another downside to consider when you're buying a much bigger display like this. But if you spend all your days on your desk like me, this is a worthy investment, especially if a lot of the points I mentioned earlier resonate with you. Also, another thing to keep in mind, especially if you're getting a big display tablet for a laptop, is that you're gonna need to buy ports, because big display tablets like this take up a lot of ports. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this takes an HDMI, this takes the USB Type-C, and I think it takes one more cable. So that's also something you need to have in mind, especially if you have like one of those thin MacBooks or Ultrabooks. It's not like an iPad where you don't need a cable, or like much smaller display tablet that just only need one. So, but one of the upsides of that is like being able to just be stationary and just have this work, especially if you have this in a home computer. You're good, you're set. I've been using this to do a lot of my drawings for convention prep, which I'll have in my Artist Alley vlogs / studio vlog / animation student vlog. And out of all the drawing tablets that I've used recently, I enjoy this one a lot, and I can't wait to show you guys a lot more. I love putting these tablets into real world use, so I hope all this information was super valuable or helpful. If I'm missing anything, drop it down in the comment section. I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye!